go ahead and get started here. Hit start the timer. So, hello everybody, my name is Andrew Bunton. I'm an instructional designer, and for today's Blue Tips, I'm going to be talking about quick and easy collaborations within BlueLine. So to get started, you may have seen this collaborations tab in BlueLine before and sort of wondered what it is and what exactly it does, because it's not one of the more commonly used tools. But there's actually some really powerful capabilities here that I think you might be interested in. So what the collaborations allow for are real-time online student collaborations. And they use one of two tools. It's either an Etherpad or a Google Doc. And these are third-party tools that have been integrated into BlueLine. So they're not made by the company that makes BlueLine, but they are integrated pretty nicely into the system. So first, I'm just going to explain them really quick, and then I'm actually going to do a live demo so you can see how they actually work. So to begin, Etherpad is one of the options. It's an open source online document collaboration tool set. And it offers your basic editing tools. It does version saving, so you can save multiple versions of the same document. It's got a really cool time sliding revision viewer, which I'll show you, and it's pretty cool. There are various ways to download your document, and you can create a shareable URL to invite people to view the document or edit the document. The one big downside about Etherpad is that it's publicly available, so anybody that knows the URL to your document can get in and start making edits. So it's really easy to start up and get going, but again, it's public and it's out there. The other option are Google Docs. And to start off with, there's one big sort of drawback with Google Docs as well, and that is that each Google Doc has to be associated with a Google account. And for the most part, all participants that want to get in and edit a document must have a Google account, and most of the time that's just a Gmail account. I think a lot of people probably already have Gmail accounts, but it is something you need to be aware of. And they're not necessarily linked into BlueLine. That is something, your Gmail can be linked to BlueLine pretty easily, but that is something you need to take into consideration. So Google Docs allow for more robust editing and commenting tools. They have multiple privacy settings so that it's not open to everybody. You have to be invited to get in. It does have some revision history, and there's lots of really nice publishing options. And publishing is sort of viewing options and online viewing options. So with that, let's do a live demo. And I will jump over here. Oop, I see what I gotta do. Okay, so here we are in BlueLine. I am currently logged in as a student, and I'm going to go to the course, which just happens to be my sandbox, where I'm ready to do some collaborations. And you can see I've got my normal navigation over here, and collaborations is one of the options. So I'll go ahead and click on that. And it says, oh, we don't have any collaborations set up yet, but let's go ahead and start one. And so first I'm going to show you what an Etherpad collaboration looks like. And it sort of gives you a brief rundown of what exactly Etherpad is. But it's really easy to start up and to invite your collaborators. So the first thing you need to do is give your document a document name. So I'm going to call this Blue Tips. And the description, this is optional, but I find it helpful. So I'm going to call this Let's Work on Next Week's Blue Tips. And the cool thing is that here's everybody currently enrolled in this course. And when I'm ready to invite people to collaborate, I can just click on their name. So I'm going to invite Derek and Rick. And then I'm going to say Start Collaborating. And Derek and Rick are going to get emails saying, hey, you've been invited to collaborate. And so Etherpad says, there's no document here. Do you want to create one? And yes, I would like to create a new document. And this is what it looks like. As Rick's already joined, you can see. And I imagine Derek will be joining here in a few minutes. But it'll show you who all is in here. I should probably enter my name. Oh, yeah. And down here is a little chat function. Rick says he's fast. I can comment back And you can see you can have a running chat as well as your ongoing document. So this is your actual document here. And it sort of gives you a welcome text, which you can just immediately delete. So yeah, and here you can just start typing up your document. You'll notice that everything is color-coded. So anything I do is going to be in purple. Anything Derek does is going to be in pink, and anything Rick does is going to be in that light blue. So you can see who's doing what, and you'll notice that we're all doing this in real time. We're all sitting in the same room. It doesn't have to be the same room. It can be opposite ends of the campus, opposite ends of the country, or opposite ends of the world. And we can all be typing and working on this document together. Like I mentioned earlier, you only have some very basic editing tools. So you can do bold, italic, underline, strike through, some basic bullets, and a little bit with indent. And that's really most of what you get for this. And let's see, I'm going to start typing some junk down here, just for example later. That I don't like. If I can't spell. Okay, and I'm going to delete this so that when we go through the slider, you can kind of see what that looks like. So yeah, there's lots of different ways you can save different revisions. So if we get to a spot where we want to save this first revision, we can click Save Revisions. You can save it now. We've got revision 1. We can keep working and save multiple revisions. So we can have multiple revisions of the same document, so we can sort of take a look back in time and sort of see revision 1, and then next week we've got revision 2 to sort of keep a running tab on the progress we've made. Relatedly, we can use this really cool time slider, which opens up a new window. But you'll see here that there's it's a timeline of the work that we've done. So if I go all the way back to the beginning, it shows the pad. And I can hit play and actually play back the revisions we've been making. The stars are your saved revisions. And so you can you can pause it, you can scrub back and forth. And I think it's a really cool feature that's really nice. So I'll go ahead and close out of this, and I'm back into the current pad. You can also import and export if you want to import some work you've already done as like a Word file to then collaborate on that Word file. You can import a file. You can download as a PDF, Microsoft Word, plain text. So it gives you some nice options of how you want to download this.
Where did you find that to download?
I think I just said import export. Okay. Then finally I can share this pad and invite other people to it. All you have to do that is copy this link, send that person an email, copy the link into it, they click the link, they're able to get in and start editing. So it's pretty easy. Any questions about Etherpad?
I'll make a couple comments just real quick. When I entered, it had my name already in there. Mm-hmm. I think 'cause I'd used it before.
Oh.
So I think on your computer, at least, it might keep track of you. When you come back for the second time, it might actually have your
name.
The other comment, it's interesting. The formatting tools really are kind of basic. I mean, it's nice for bold italics and stuff, but there's no font sizes or headings.
Right. Yeah. If you want advanced editing, this is not going to do it for you. So again, this is your very basic editing. So yeah, that's Etherpad. It automatically saves as you go, so you don't have to worry about that. Going back into BlueLine, I'm going to start another new collaboration the same way, but this time I'm going to choose a Google Doc. And again, we're going to call this one Blue Tips. And since I'm creating this document, I'm going to be hosting it, and that's important because with the Google Doc, somebody with a Google account has to host it. So again, I'm going to invite Derek and Rick. And I'm going to start collaborating.
Now, all the members who are collaborating also have to have Google Docs, or just the
That is
host?
correct. Everyone will have to have a Google Doc. So here we go. This is the basic Google Docs editing screen. You can see it looks a little bit more like Microsoft Word, and it has some more robust features to it. you've got all your different bold, italics, underline, text color, different font options, font sizes, different bullets. You can insert links. You can do commenting, formatting, all kinds of great stuff. And again, up here you can see who's editing with you. So we've got Rick up here. And for me, he's occurring as a little pink cursor so I can see where he's working. And there, Derek just joined, and he's has a little orange cursor. And it even tells me who's doing what. So I can see Derek's down here typing. If I want to type some stuff, Rick's up there typing. I can jump down here. Oops, sorry. Yeah, we got pictures. Oop. So again, this is all happening in real time. We're all in here together, making these edits, bringing in pictures, doing all kinds of editing work. And again, you get more robust tools. There's a whole, it does spelling, all that good stuff. So real quick, a couple things I'd like to show you is there is a chat function, which Rick just found. You can show the chat here, so we can chat back and forth to each other. You can do comments, which is with this button here, you can insert a comment. And that's what Rick did earlier, so I can make a comment and say a nice picture. Make that comment. So you can see running comments as it goes along. There is a revision history. It's not quite as cool as the time slider that Etherpad has, but if you want to see sort of the revision history, it is under File, See Revision History. And it'll sort of show you over here what's happened, and you can kind of click on it to see what it looked like. Yeah, and you can restore old versions if you want to, but that's kind of a nice feature so you can see what's happened. I'll go ahead and get rid of that, and I'm back to the live version. The other thing that I'd like to talk about really quick are sort of the sharing options. Now, a Google Doc is more closed off than Etherpad is by default. With Etherpad, if you have the web address, you can get in and you can edit. Google Docs is much more sort of confined. I'll show you what I mean by clicking on the share button. And you'll notice right now it says it's private to me and 2 more people. So by default, these are the only people that have access to this document. And it says, I'm the owner, and Derek and Rick can edit. And I can change this, and I can say that Derek can no longer edit. He can only view the document, or he can only comment on the document. He can't actually edit it. But I'm going to let him go ahead and edit it. Oop, I think I just removed him, so I'm going to cancel that because I want Derek in there. You can remove people by clicking the X, like I accidentally just did. And you can invite new people by clicking here and entering in their Gmail address. And save and share, then they'll be invited in. You can change the access here. So right now it's set for private. Only the people listed below have access. So I'll go ahead and change that. And you can see that, like Etherpad, I can change this so that anyone who has the link can access. And no sign-in is required. So this would be an example of if you want somebody without a Google account to be able to come in, this is one way to do it. But again, it's opening it up, and you're losing that security. You can also do public on the web, which means absolutely anybody can find it. It'll be indexed on the internet with Google. I wouldn't recommend this one unless you're doing some sort of experiment with it, which you could. And you can sort of change what people can come in and do with your different privacy options. So that's really nice. The only thing about this is with grading, they'll have to invite the students will have to invite the instructor in to the document. And of course, they could always be set to view only, if that's a concern. So I'm just about out of time. Any quick questions on Google Docs?
I was just going to say that you talked about the student would have to give you permission to get in there. It's actually not completely true because a student, if there's an assignment that's set for electronic submission, a student can submit right from their Google Docs, and then it goes right in the speed grader.
This is true.
The instructor wouldn't have access to the revision history and stuff, but at least they'd be able to see.
Yeah, but again, your Google account will have to tie into BlueLine, and that's not difficult. That's just one extra step.
One thing I'd point out when you hit the share button, if you create groups in your Google account Instead of saying enter in every single email address for students, you can just say, if you made a group for just your particular class, you can just share it with just that group.
And one last thing, back in BlueLine, if you start a new collaboration and you do have groups set up, there's a groups tab, and I can invite the group with one click. So it's pretty nice. So I'm out of time, so I'm going to stop the recording. And thanks, and we'll see you next week.